This document looks pretty good here in InDesign. There's the first spread, and here's some other spreads and so on. But I happen to know that there are lots of little errors under the surface, difficult to find. Now, InDesign has a preflight feature that lets me find some errors, and I can bring that up from the window menu or by using a keyboard shortcut or whatever. And we can see that there's one error in here, an overset text frame. And if you click on that, it'll go to it, and you can change it and so on. But what about all the other errors? What about all the hidden text errors and image errors and so on? Where are those? Well, preflight is not going to let me find all of those. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. And because I have the Blatner Tools suite of plugins installed, I'm going to use a little feature called Quality Assurance. So I'll go to the Blatner Tools menu, choose Quality Assurance, and here is my Quality Assurance panel. And it shows me that there's all kinds of errors in here that would be difficult to find in any other way. For example, let's look at this, 5 leading spaces. I'll just click on that, and it takes me right to it. And we can see it's on this page. I'll zoom in to 400% with the Command 4, Control 4 shortcut, and we can see that somebody typed 5 spaces at the end, at the beginning of a paragraph. How annoying! That happens all the time. It's easy to fix, though. You just delete them. There we go. They're gone from here, and they disappear from the Quality Assurance panel. So the Quality Assurance panel finds all kinds of things that I personally have been wanting to find for many, many years, and there's just been no way to do it. So I went to the DTP Tools folks, and I said, could you build this into a panel? And that's what they did. They built the Quality Assurance panel as part of Blatner Tools. Let's look at some of the other things we can find. Trailing spaces. Some people don't care about trailing spaces. Some people do. Let's just click on one of these, and we can see that it takes me right to a little space at the end of a paragraph. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one. Let's find one over here. Oh, here's another one. There's a tab at the end of a paragraph. I can delete that, make it go away. An orphan orphan parentheses. What's that about? Let's click on it, and it takes me right to this story here, and you can see that it selects the orphan parentheses, the one where there's an open parentheses, but there's no closed parentheses after it. There's supposed to be a closed parentheses, and it just doesn't show up anywhere. These red marks, by the way, if those are confusing to you, those are index markers that are there because I have hidden characters turned on in InDesign. You can hide that if you want from the type menu, but in this case, I'm going to leave it turned on so I can see all the hidden characters. But all I need to do to fix this error and make that go away in the Quality Assurance panel is by typing in a parentheses. Now I've got an open and a close, no more orphans, and it disappears. Consecutive punctuations. Oh, I hate this. When you have double dashes in there instead of an M dash, it finds those automatically, finds 2 spaces together when it should be a single space. I think there's another one in here too. Oh yeah, there's a double space, should be a single space. It's easy to find those things with the Quality Assurance panel. What about these runts? What are runts? A runt is a very short last line of a paragraph. So for example, if I click on this runt, we can see that this paragraph, let me scroll down here, I can see that this paragraph ends with just 5 characters, 4 letters and the dot at the end. And let's zoom back here so we can see if we can fix this. One way to fix this would be simply to go to the justification dialog box, and let's go ahead and just allow maybe 1% minus 1% letter spacing. Click OK. Yep, that cleared it up. That's almost imperceptible, so that's a totally reasonable thing to do. And we can see that the runt goes away and it disappears from the Quality Assurance panel. Let's look at some of the other things that you can find with the Quality Assurance panel. Let's look at the superfluous space. Ooh, there we go. That's an annoying one. Someone put a space before the parentheses. Let's delete that. Too narrow stroke. What's that about? Well, in this document, I have a stroke, which I can select with the selection tool if I want. It's right there. And I can see that this stroke is 0.1 points. So it's way too thin. That's annoying. I want to have, let's say, a minimum of about 1/4 point or something. How would I set that? And how does it know that 0.1 points is too thin? Well, if I go to the Quality Assurance flyout menu, I can choose Options. And let's move this over, and we can see that the Quality Assurance options lets me turn on and off all kinds of features, and it lets me set things like how long should the final last line of a paragraph be before it flags it as an error. How thick should a stroke be? Let's go ahead and set this to maybe 0.24, so 1/4 point would be okay, but a 0.1 stroke is definitely too small. Should it find duplicate objects? Should it find blank pages? Should it find those orphan brackets? Totally up to you. You can turn these things on or off. Click OK, and we can see that this is still an error. but as soon as I change this to 0.25, the error goes away. So that was easy to fix. Let's find some of these other things. Hidden objects. Oh, look at that. I selected that, and it selected something on my page. Let's move back here so we can see that there seems to be some sort of frame underneath that frame. What's that about? Well, if I could actually just drag this out, and as soon as it's visible, the error goes away. It says, oh, well, you can see it. I don't have to worry about it. But if it is hidden behind an opaque object like this white text frame, it shows up as a hidden object. So that's really annoying, and I could delete it, or let's go ahead and just change this fill, the fill for this to none so I can see it. And once again, because I can see it, the problem goes away. Or I could, again, move it out onto the pasteboard or whatever. Let's go ahead and put this out here. Now, if I put something on the pasteboard, it shows up as a different kind of error. It shows up as an object is entirely on the pasteboard. And if I click on it, oh, I clicked on the wrong one. I clicked on this one. That's the one I just put on the pasteboard. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. I'll click on this one, and I can see there's a frame out on the pasteboard that I didn't even know about. Well, that's easy to fix. I'll just go ahead and delete that, and it goes away here. Empty text frames can be found. I'll delete that. Non-printable objects. Oh, look at this. This image is non-printable. I would have to go to Window, Output, Attributes. Indeed, non-printing. There it is. That's easy to fix. I'll make it printing again. Error goes away. Unnamed colors. In this case, oh, I'm back to the stroke again. This stroke, what color is this? It's colored with, oh, it's not colored with any of these swatches. I wanted this to be colored black, but it seems to be colored with some unknown color, some unnamed color, probably created with the color panel instead of the swatches panel. I'll make it black, and the problem goes away. So you can see all kinds of problems. Here's my overset. There's more runts. Use of local character formatting and paragraph formatting. In this document, let's go ahead and just select one of these. In this document, there's a lot of text that seems to have, oh, look at that, manual kerning applied to it across a range of text. It's a very common problem, and you can tell quality assurance whether you want to search for that or not. Or if you do want to search for it, you can find it or fix it or not. It's totally up to you. So there you go. Quality Assurance Panel from Blatner Tools gives you the control to find all of these hidden errors or hidden issues that you can either fix or not, but at least it lets you find them. Now, it would be very difficult to find these sorts of things. And it's very important to fix these before you go to print, or certainly before you send it to your boss or a proofreader who's going to give you a hard time if those sorts of things are in there. So, Quality Assurance Panel, part of Blatner Tools, which you can find at blatnertools.com.